Hello, 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 hello. It's Tuesday, and this is More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast where we help you build a thriving business. I'm an Angelova business coach and consultant, and a co host of this podcast. And together with me is Jores Minasvand, my fellow business consultant and co host. Hey, Jores, happy Tuesday.
Hannah, happy Tuesday. What is the beautiful topic for our day today?
The topic for today is how to ensure accountability without micromanaging. So what kind of processes, what do you need to have in your business to ensure accountability? And accountability is really, really important. Like, it's a cornerstone of productivity. It's a cornerstone of any kind of success, whether it's in business or in life. And ultimately, the whole thing starts with your onboarding. Like, once you hire, like you need to have, like, in terms of processes, you need to have a process where from the get-go, from the beginning, once you hire someone, once someone starts working with you, there are clear expectations. Like, and they know what their role is, why it matters, how they're contributing to the business, what their key responsibilities are, what's the expected result, so everyone is clear when the results need to be achieved as well, right? Like, what they need to achieve within the first month, within the first quarter, within the first year, like having that clarity of what's expected of people. And of course, this is like this is one part, right? Like, this is the first piece of the puzzle when it comes to creating processes that establish that accountability without micromanaging people. After you know that your onboarding process is good, like people know when they start with you, like they know all these kind of things, everyone is clear on responsibilities, what's done, how it's done, and all these kind of things, then of course the next part is like the ongoing, how you lead people in a way that you keep the accountability but you don't manage, you don't micromanage. You still manage but you don't micromanage. So ultimately, there the pieces of the puzzle in after that, like after the onboarding, of course, one of them is inspect what you expect, especially as people start, uh, until you see that yes, they are doing their work properly and all these kind of things. You might wanna even meet with them every single day and see what's going on and how things are going. So they get up to speed, right? Depending on what kind of work it is. And ultimately, like, when it comes to accountability, it's not that much about someone sitting on a chair for 8 hours, and that's why like having that clear understanding of what the expected results are and what the responsibilities are is so important, because like, it's not about someone sitting on a chair for 8 hours. Micromanaging is about sitting on a chair for 8 hours and making sure that the person is doing something for 8 hours. When it comes to accountability, it's more about the results. Like, is the person achieving the results? This is what you need to know. And again, as people start to uh, get more and more used to the work, and that they get like that they are up to speed with what's going on, you still want to keep track as the leader, as the manager. You still want to keep track, of course. Have weekly meetings, have monthly, and all these kind of meetings to just for status, just to see what's going on. Like, if this was our goal for the first quarter, where are we? Like, are we moving towards it? Are there any showstoppers? Things like this. You're there to support and empower. And if there's anything where you need to step up as the leader, you step in as the leader. But otherwise, like, let people do their work, let them grow, let them learn, and all these kind of things. So ultimately, as I said, a few pieces of the puzzle, a few processes that you need to have. One is onboarding, like clear steps in your onboarding, clear expectations, and then ongoing. In the beginning, you might want to be a little bit more involved without people telling people what specifically to, like, how specifically to do things. Yeah, you can tell them what to do, why this is done, and all these kind of things. In the beginning, we might be more involved, and then you pull yourself back, and you still stay on top. Though, as the leader, you still keep meeting with people, whether it's for weekly planning or weekly review or something like this, to again understand the status, but also celebrate. Like, one of the other things is celebrating people, that celebrating the behaviors you want to see, right? And when it comes to accountability, if this is something that you want to see, celebrate it. When people show up and when they're accountable and when they own up to their mistakes, when they share things that show that, oh, this person is really showing accountability, celebrate it, encourage it. So I know I've talked quite a bit, Jores. I know you have a lot on your mind, and I'm giving you the mic right now.
Actually, you pretty much covered it. Um, there's a couple of points. When you talk about accountability, and when you describe accountability, it's not like you assign goals to someone or tasks to someone, and you're accountable to check their accountability or check their execution. And like you said, it all depends on how you onboard people and how you bring them on board. And when we want to really measure accountability and hold people accountable, it's not towards completion of tasks. It's about achieving a result. And that's what you want to explain it to them. This is not about, like you said, come here, sit at the computer 8 hours a day. I hear the click clack of your keyboard, and you go for a break, you come back, click clack, you go for lunch, come back. At the end of the week, nothing is, all your tasks are done, but the result is not there. So if they finish all their tasks in one day and they give you the result, even better, or enhance it, but they give you the result or at the time or before the time that is due, that's accountability, not completion of task. And I've seen, especially in large corporations, hundreds, if not thousands, of people have turned into drones where they sit at the computer, they get up at a certain time, they go for a break, they come back. At the end of the day, the whole team is literally over bloated. And then you hear from the manager that they're hiring 10 more people, and you're just standing there scratching your head. 10 more people to do what? It's like, so you have to have a plan, describe the plan, assign the responsibility, the result, not the task, and then hold them accountable. And this is how you manage professionals. You have to be able to, like, um, there are some professions, for example, not demeaning any profession, but for example, help desk. Some of the tasks are just managing tickets, but the way they manage ticket, right? You can tell uh, a, a help desk person, oh, tickets have to be done at the maximum of 30 minutes from arrival. So the person opens the ticket, closes the ticket, says acknowledge, and then sits on it for 6 days. But if you tell a help desk person that your main responsibility and accountability is satisfied customers, then let them figure out, and then tell them, like, tickets have to be acknowledged in 30 minutes, resolved in 1 hour, depending on the severity. Here is a chart, follow this chart, but your main goal is not opening and closing tickets, it's satisfying customers' needs. So you have to be careful what you're assigning people.
Very true. Very true that it's that's why, again, that's why it's so important to have the proper process for even describing the role, even describing the position, and start it this way where there's a lot of clarity, and who's responsible for what, accountable for what, and your job is not to tell people how to do their work. Your job is to manage and lead, especially in a small team. Like, you are the manager and the leader. And as a manager, again, you still need to keep track of these things, status, and all these kind of things. And this is the thing that micromanaging is ultimately telling people how to do things. It's asking them for every single thing. Did you do this? And like, it's really staying in the weeds. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. And when you have the right processes, and of course hire the right people, like actually a lot of things also start with even before the onboarding, it starts with having the process where you know that you're hiring the correct people, you know that you are hiring people who are actually capable of delivering the results, people who are responsible and accountable actually. I've mentioned this one before. I love that story that I've said it. I've heard it from Darren Hardy, where at that hotel he asked, "How do you train your people to be so happy?" And the answer was, "We don't train people to be happy. We hire happy people." So one of the things is also ensuring accountability without micromanaging. One of the key first things is, as a process, hire people who are responsible and accountable, who have these characteristics and who have this as a core value even. Uh,
Don't hire soldiers. If you hire soldiers, you have to do constantly be around to give them orders. You want self-sustaining, self-managing, independent professionals. When you hire them and explain to them what's expected, then they manage themselves. Accountability becomes a moot point actually with them.
Again, you still want to stay on top of things. You still want to stay on top of things, and first of all, for you to have clarity on what visibility, what's going on, and second, which we forget, celebration. As I mentioned, celebration, because we all crave that acknowledgement and that sense when we do something and when we achieve something, that yes, we might be feeling amazing because we achieved it, but then getting the thumbs up and that acknowledgement from our superiors, right, our manager and leaders, like it's so much more and meaningful. So I know we chatted quite a bit. Ultimately, when it comes to leading and managing people in a way that you ensure accountability without micromanaging, of course, yesterday we mentioned leading by example. So first of all, if you are tend to micromanage, definitely I would highly recommend working on yourself first. But when it comes to the processes within your business, having a clear process on who to hire and how to hire people who are already accountable and responsible, like who already have these characteristics. And then from there, clear onboarding with clear expectations, with the path to independence in a way from someone who has no idea how your business works, who just gets into your company on day one, to someone who by day 90 is on their own and creating miracles for you, like doing amazing work and creating those results. And of course, in terms of leading people, we did mention yesterday leading by example. If you want people to be accountable, actually, you need to be accountable. You need to showcase this. And then those regular meetings you have with people, whether it's for status, whether for planning, reviews, and all these kind of things. And enabling and empowering them, having those things again as a leader, celebrating them, very very important. I mentioned it a couple of times and I almost forgot it. Celebrating them, it's really key. And I think this is kind of the summary. And if you do want to continue this conversation actually and make it more into a conversation that's not just me and Jores here, because like right now you're listening to the conversation between me and Jores, but if you want to chime into this conversation and share your thoughts, ask your questions, join the Visionary Founders Club. It's a community, a space for business owners like you, for leaders like you, so we can have these kind of conversations. We can talk, we can discuss these things, we can help you set these processes up. So if you haven't joined it yet, join it. The link is in the description. We would love to see you there. And yeah, I think this is it for today.
Thank you, Anna. Amazing session. And we leave you now for the day. Like Anna said, come join our community. It's a lot of useful stuff. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for another great topic.
And before we let you go, actually, action item for today. Because we were talking about the different processes that you need, like those different pieces. Take a look at your business. Do you have clear processes, guidelines on procedures on how to hire the right way, how to onboard the right way, and then how to lead and manage people the right way? Do you have this? Like, take a look at them. So for today, just do this, and then if you find out that you know what, some of these processes are not there or they're not defined the way that they should be, planned for when you can do them, but for when you can actually update these things and or create these processes so you can really hire the right people, onboard them the correct way, and lead them to greatness and create a thriving business you want to have. So don't forget your action item, because knowledge is useless if you don't apply it. And then the other thing is tomorrow we are coming back with changing gears actually to a conversation that if you're not very tech savvy, you might not know the answer. If you're tech savvy, you can skip the conversation tomorrow. But the topic tomorrow is the difference between a landing page and a full website, and also like when to use each one. Like when do you need one or the other? Which one do you need in different cases? So this is what we'll be discussing, a little bit of a techy topic, but it's for beginners, for newbies and people who are not tech savvy. So if this is something that you've been wondering, join us for another insightful conversation, I'm sure.
Thank you, Anna. Bye bye.
Thanks, Joris. Bye. See you tomorrow.
See you.